Hey there, welcome back to another video with the Math Doc. We're still talking about equations with absolute value terms, and in this case we will be looking at equations that have something called an extraneous solution, or more than one extraneous solution. What are extraneous solutions? They are solutions that are not relevant or not appropriate to the problem. And we'll dive into an example right away, and this will highlight what we mean. But basically, when we say extraneous about a solution in math, we're trying to say that it's basically junk. So it's not a solution we would want to use in any way. So let's look at this example here. We have an absolute value of this term x plus 3, and let's say it equals this term 2 times x, where we don't have an absolute value on this term. So we have two terms. It's pretty simple, but we have this issue where we have one term with an absolute value. Now when we look at this, as always, we're going to look at the case when this is equal, the contents of the absolute value is equal to what's on the other side, or when it's equal to the negative of it, so, right? Because again, the absolute value sign here will remove that negative. And so we can have x plus 3 equals 2 times x, or x plus 3 equals minus 2 times x, because when we take the absolute value of these two terms, we will remain with 2 times x here. Okay, so let's look at these two options, these two types of solutions. We have here x plus 3 equals 2 times x. So this is when it's positive on the inside. And when it's negative, we can write it out as x plus 3 equals negative 2 times x, right? Because it's positive, because it's negative in there. Okay, so these are pretty simple to solve. Let's use our usual tricks. We'll use this subtraction property. We'll subtract x from both sides here, and we get x minus x is just 0 x's. So we have 3 on the left equals 2x minus 1x is just 1x. So we have 3 equals x. That's one solution. Now let's check it. If we put absolute value of 3 plus 3, we substituted. Does that equal 2 times 3? Yeah, we have 6 equals 6. Okay, so that one works. What happens on the other side? On the other side, we said that that x plus 3 equals negative 2 times x, so that when we take the absolute value, they are equal. Let's do this again. Let's use the subtraction again. We will subtract x from both sides. I'm kind of moving over here to the right. So x minus x on the left will leave us with just 3 equals minus 3 times x, because we had negative 2x here and another negative x. So we have altogether negative 3x. Let's divide both sides by negative 3. So on the left-hand side, we get 3 divided by negative 3, and on the right hand side we just have x because we divided out the negative 3. 3 divided by negative 3 is negative 1, so we have x equals negative 1. Okay, does that solve it? Well, if we look at this solution and the first thing we see is that if x is negative, then the right hand side of our equation is negative. It's negative 2, right? 2 times negative 1 is just negative 2. But we're looking at absolute value here, which has to be either 0 or positive. So something is wrong. And what is wrong is that this result, although it came from formally going through the steps, right, of solving, it is still wrong because the end result is basically junk because it does not satisfy this equation. So this solution is not a good solution. And that is the definition of an extraneous solution. When you check back, you see that it either contradicts the terms of the problem, or it's actually not a real solution of the entire problem. It is just something we call an artifact of the way we solve these equations. So this was a quick video to show you what are extraneous solutions and how we find them in equations with absolute values. There'll be another video with some more complex situations where we will have extraneous solutions. That will be the next video. And if this video was helpful, please like, include any comments if anything was not clear, and I hope to see you again in the next video.